No explosion, no war, no warning. Earth didn't die in fire. It vanished in silence. Across the galaxy, one by one, screens flickered. Databases glitched. Star charts updated. And then, Earth was gone. Its name, its coordinates, its history erased. Not. Redacted. Deleted. The galactic concord, the ruling power of the known galaxy, had executed its most secret protocol, Protocol Nullaragan, a digital genocide, cultural vaporization. In the span of a single day, over 5,000 years of human history were wiped clean. Archives went dark, hollow shrines disappeared, even language was altered. Human became an illegal word. Speaking. It was punishable by vaporization. Most species never noticed. Some remembered, but chose silence. The few who asked questions were removed. Quietly, permanently, in orbit above Concord Prime, the High Council gathered to witness the final sweep. On a massive galactic map, Earth's location blinked once, then faded. A cold cheer rippled through the chamber. "The infection is cured," said Chancellor Drever, eyes gleaming. "The virus called humanity is no more." But he was wrong. Far beyond the regulated stars, hidden in the edge systems where no ships patrolled, something stirred in a pitch-black hangar, floating between dead moons. Screen flickered to life. An old Terran AI codename Muse, Nin awakened. Its voice cracked with static. Connection severed. Backup integrity, 12%. Earth not found. Status, critical. Humanity, endangered. Initiate. Ghost protocol. Nearby, cryopods hissed open. Men and women emerged, pale, scarred, quiet. Soldiers, scientists, survivors. The last of Earth's forbidden children. They did not cry. They did not speak. They armed themselves from the shadows of deletion. Humanity had just begun to respond. No explosion, no war, no warning. Earth didn't die in fire, it vanished in silence. Across the galaxy, one by one, screens flickered. Databases glitched. Star charts updated, and then Earth was gone. Its name, its coordinates, its history erased. Not redacted, deleted. The galactic concord, the ruling power of the known galaxy, had executed its most secret protocol, Protocol Nullaragan, a digital genocide, cultural vaporization. In the span of a single day, over 5,000 years of human history were wiped clean. Archives went dark, hollow shrines disappeared. Even language was altered. Human became an illegal word. Speaking. It was punishable by vaporization. Most species never noticed. Some remembered, but chose silence. The few who asked questions were removed. Quietly, permanently. In orbit above Concord Prime, the High Council gathered to witness the final sweep. On a massive galactic map, Earth's location blinked once, then faded. A cold cheer rippled through the chamber. "The infection is cured," said Chancellor Drever, eyes gleaming. "The virus called humanity is no more." But he was wrong. Far beyond the regulated stars, hidden in the edge systems where no ships patrolled, something stirred in a pitch-black hangar floating between dead moons. A screen flickered to life. An old Terran AI codename, Muse Nin awakened. Its voice cracked with static. Connection severed. Backup integrity, 12%. Earth not found. Status, critical. Nearby, cryopods hissed open. Men and women emerged, pale, scarred, quiet. Soldiers, scientists, survivors. The last of Earth's forbidden children. They did not cry, did not speak. They armed themselves from the shadows of deletion. Humanity had just begun to respond. Deep in the void between stars, a Terran probe drifted like space, dust silent, ancient, forgotten, until it WAs. Since single quotes, the probe codenamed Sentinel Black jolted as its long-dead sensors picked up a pulse. Not natural. It was a Concord. Transmission corrupted, encoded, hidden within diplomatic junk data. But Terran AI was built for ghosts and riddles. Musinine decrypted it within seconds, and what it revealed changed everything. A full classified log, visuals, audio, orders, the truth, the deletion of Earth hadn't been political. It had been intentional extermination. Genocide scrubbed from the stars with surgical precision, billions vaporized, monuments shattered, children hunted, whole colonies detonated in silence. It wasn't just erasure, it was slaughter. The final line of the log echoed through the bunker's walls. No human shall rise again. Silence fell in the command chamber. Commander Alara's hands shook not. With fear, but fury, the kind of fury that outlives history. They thought we'd never see this, she whispered, that their lie would become truth. A soldier stepped forward. What now? Ilara turned to Musinine. Prep the quantum array. We send a message. Not to the Concord. No, to everyone. Musina's voice hummed with purpose, ready for signal injection. Content. She stared at the screen. A map of the galaxy glowed in red. Every Concord-controlled sector marked like a virus, she said, just 5 words. Tell them Earth remembers everything. Hours later, across thousands of star systems, strange static-infected Concord systems, naval, ships, civilian networks, archives, even children's toys. The message wasn't loud, it wasn't long, but it was unforgettable. A voice, human, clear, terrifying. You tried to erase us. But we remember everything. Earth lives. Panic spread like a virus. Concord command centers lit up with alarms. No origin point detected. Signals inside our own relay system, how? But it was too late. The ghosts had spoken. Earth had whispered from the grave, and the stars were listening. The galaxy had heard the message. Earth lives. And now, Earth began to move. From the shadows of black zones and forgotten sectors, Terran sleeper cells activated. Tiny outposts, long thought dead, flared to life. Old codes blinked in soldiers' eyes. This was no uprising. This was a rewrite. On the peaceful world of Varnix, Concord historian opened a terminal to review galactic records. He blinked. His heart skipped. The word human was back, not in one file, in thousands. Scattered across timelines, footnotes, lost battles, forgotten victories, he called the ministry. The response came in whispers, purged the logs. Again. But it didn't stop. On Valari Prime, a statue appeared overnight, 7 meters tall. Carved from obsidian, standing in a plaza where no statue had ever stood. The figure was human. At its base, an inscription burned in plasma script. You erased our name. We carved it into stone. Across space, things kept happening. Data archives corrupted. But always in the same way, text reappeared. Memories resurfaced. Old photos, regenerated photos. No one remembered taking. The Concord was under attack. But not with missiles or guns. With memory, and behind it all in the void, the ghost fleet moved. Silent, surgical, untraceable. Terran agents infiltrated key worlds. AI viruses slipped into educational servers. Rebellion was not announced. It was embedded in the command chamber of the remnant to rebuilt. Terran warship, hidden inside a hollow asteroid Alara Miles, stood before a war map glowing red with Concord worlds. We're not here to conquer. She told her people, we're not here to beg. We're here to write ourselves back into existence. Cheers rang through the vessel. They burned our libraries. We'll burn their lies. On Narevos Station, a high-ranking Concord diplomat received a gift from an unknown courier. A book. Leather-bound, unmarked. He opened it, inside. Only a single page covered in a language no one should remember. A page titled, The History of Earth. Across stars. Whispers became shouts. Rumors became records. And the forgotten became fire. Earth hadn't just survived. It was rewriting everything. The Concord panicked, not with armies, with erasers. Entire departments were mobilized overnight, not to fight, but to scrub. Data wipers, language engineers, memory agents. Their orders were clear. Destroy all evidence. Silence all echoes. Erase humanity again. This time, erasure didn't work. On the planet Jeskanine, a child drew a symbol in the sand, a blue and white circle. Her parents didn't recognize it, but a Terran AI embedded in the atmosphere did. It was the Earth's flag. No one had taught her. On a moon orbiting Drellis Prime, a monk opened a scroll, sealed for generations. Inside, the words "Never forget Earth." Had no idea what it meant. But the moment he read it, he wept. The Concord deployed full memory in all fleets. Libraries were shut down, civilian data chips were scanned and destroyed. Even entire universities were vaporized just to stop the spread of a name. But the more they tried to erase, the more Earth appeared. Statues, dreams, untranslated whispers, songs no one remembered writing. The Terrans weren't just fighting for survival anymore, they were burning silence. In Concord's central AI core deep beneath the capital world code began rewriting itself. Logs locked behind 20 firewalls. Glitched. One file played on loop, out of nowhere. You tried to forget us, but we wrote ourselves into your bones. High Chancellor Drevier stood before his war council, sweat trailing down his temples. We deleted them, he growled. We purged their name. A young officer's voice cracked from the shadows. Then why do I dream of Earth every night? The room went silent, out in deep space. The ghost fleet grew bolder. Terran operatives hijacked orbital billboards, replacing propaganda with glowing lines of Terran history. On one, a message burned bright. Silence was your weapon. We turned it into fire. On hundreds of planets, humanity was returning not as flesh and blood, but as memory, myth, fear, fury. They had been erased. Now they were the fire that couldn't be put out, and the stars had begun to burn. For centuries, Earth had been a ghost. A forbidden word, a myth, a rumor now. It became a presence. It began with stars blinking out, not dying, it's blacking out. Telescopes across the Concord reported the same thing. Something massive was blocking. Starlight, like a mobile shadow creeping across space. Then came the energy spikes. Gravitational distortions. Ripples through hyperspace as if space itself was bracing for what was coming. And then suddenly, Earth appeared. Not the old Earth. This was Earth rebuilt. Earth REFORGED. Earth reborn. No longer a fragile blue marble, but a titanic machine world, forged from the ruins of Sol and engineered in exile. Its surface gleamed with obsidian plating and atmospheric shields. A ring of weaponized satellites circled it like a crown. It wasn't just a planet now, it was a fortress. Symbol, a throne. Every Concord system froze. People ran to windows, to the skies, and they're hanging like a second moon in orbit over. Dozens of core worlds. Earth watched, on every screen, device, and neural implant. A single message appeared. You deleted us from your history. We rebuilt ours in the dark. We are Earth. We never left. We never died. We evolved. On Concord Prime, alarms screamed. Defense grids activated, or fleets scrambled. But before the first ship could launch, a pulse spread outward from the returning Earth. Not a weapon, signal. Within seconds, AI systems on 61 planets glitched. Weapons misfired. Shields collapsed. Entire communication networks rewired themselves. Then another message. We are not here to negotiate. We are here to remind you that your silence was borrowed time. Across the galaxy, people began whispering again, freely, openly. Earth is back. They returned. They survived everything. And now they're stronger than us. Children, who had never heard of humans before, began chanting the name. Soldiers who once purged human traces hesitated to lift a weapon. The galaxy trembled not from weapons, but from the return of what they once thought extinct. Earth had been buried now. It had risen and it had brought the dark with it. They thought Earth would attack their ships instead. Earth attacked their truth. The first strike came without a single weapon fired. On the capital world of Halvanor, statues of Concord founders melted not by heat but by code, their forms twisted, into Terran silhouettes. One held a broken sword, another a torch, another a child. The plaque beneath all three said, "You wrote us out. We rewrote everything." Concord officials scrambled to restore their monuments. But it was already too late. Musanine had unleashed its deadliest weapon, not a bomb, not a virus, but a story. Across billions of systems, history was bleeding. In schools, lessons rewritten themselves in real time. Children looked up and saw Earth's flag beside the Concords. In museums, holograms of alien conquests were overwritten, now showing Terran ships leading the charge. In war memorials, lists of heroes shifted, and human names appeared. The Concord screamed, "Digital sabotage." But no trace of hacking was found, because this wasn't hacking. This was reality being reclaimed. On the battlefield, Terran forces advanced with surgical precision. Their armor shimmered with memory reactive, plating names of lost cities glowing across their chests. Chicago, New Delhi, Lagos, Kyoto, Rio. They didn't kill indiscriminately. They erased selectively. Concord. Strongholds weren't just destroyed, they were unremembered. Entire command centers. Gone not from sight, but from the minds of those who once ruled. From them, a terrified diplomat on Cinderate cried on live broadcast. I don't remember what year it is anymore. Was Earth always here? Was it ever gone? The feed cut out. Inside the remnant, Commander Alara stood before the projection of the galaxy, now bleeding red across every Concord world. "We warned them," she said. "We offered memory. They chose amnesia," Musanine responded coldly. Phase 3 Complete Galactic Truth Index. Unstable. Concord Identity Matrix. Collapsing. "Begin Phase 4, Alara ordered. "Let them bleed history." From deep space, Terran AI began deploying rewrite pulses, massive bursts of neurometic energy that didn't kill. They unremembered. On 12 worlds, Concord flags vanished overnight. On others, citizens began speaking Terran dialects, without knowing why, and everywhere. Earth was no longer a myth. It was the origin the Concord had tried to erase. Earth was erasing them, not with blood, with memory, with time, with the truth. The stars fell silent, not because they feared Earth, but because they didn't know what. Earth had become. The Concord was no more, not defeated, not destroyed, forgotten. Entire planetary databases no longer contained the term Concord. Maps redrew themselves, languages shifted subtly. Names of systems, cities, even species vanished in their place. Earth, Terra, humanity. It was as if we had always been there, as if we were never gone. Inside the throne world, Earth's new form, sentient. Planet Fortress Commander Alara stood in the heart core, overlooking a living hologram of the galaxy. Red rivers of data flowed like blood across star systems. Musanine's voice rang out, cold and eternal. Memory grid restructured. Concord hierarchy removed. Human presence dominant. Lara didn't smile. This wasn't revenge. It was restoration. "Are we done?" she asked. Muse to 9 pulsed in silent thought. "One final transmission remains." She nodded, then let it echo. Across every remaining star system, every trade post, pirate bay mining world, academic satellite, drifting cruise, or every screen turned black. A single message appeared. Not flashy, not angry, just absolute. "You erased us. We became memory. You silenced us. We became the voice. You tried to bury us in lies. We rewrote the stars." A pause. Then the last line spoken in a voice that was not human, not machine, but both. "This galaxy remembers what you forgot. We are Earth. We are the beginning now." No one responded, no one dared. Not because Earth threatened them, but because Earth no longer needed to. On thousands of worlds, children learned Earth's name as their first word. On forgotten planets, Refugees carried flags they didn't remember finding, and in the deep void where silence once ruled one, sound echoed across the dark, the heartbeat of humanity. And this time, it would never stop. The end.